Welcome to Philly Coco presents Side Project Spotlight, episode 107. It's a developer's journey into making cool stuff. I'm Kotaro.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Aaron.
And we are Philly Coco, a Philadelphia-based Coco Heads community focused on Apple development that primarily, but not exclusively, means iOS, Mac, tvOS, watchOS, and visionOS development. Philly Coco's true desire is to take you higher on your own developer journey.
Whew, nice.
Right. And with that intro, we are on a mission today. And
what is our mission?
That mission is that we are going to be, with the exception of this line here, this is going to be an AI-free podcast. Well, at least this episode. There's no talking about AI. We're not going to get into agentic nonsense. We're not going to talk about open whatever Claude thingy that's happening at the moment. None of that.
We're not talking about GPT-5 anything.
No.
We're going to leave that for another day. We're going to go take a break for ourselves and for you, dear listeners. Is that what we're calling our fans? We need like a name for our fans.
I don't know.
For all dozens of fans we have.
Coco Heads?
Dozens of listeners.
You could just stick with Coco Heads.
Coco Heads, okay.
Because that's what it was. I mean, technically,
Coco
these were all fans of Apple development in general, at least the framework.
Coco Heads today, we're going to talk about, Macs, and also my increasingly desperate search for a monitor. It shouldn't be this hard, but it really is.
Amongst other bits of hardware, but
and
yes.
It also Kotaro's Gizmo, which is what I like to call it. I think this is a great name for it.
You can be plural about that, but yes.
Gizmos.
There's gizmos, more than one, but let's start with some news, we should say. Something Apple has announced quite a few things this past week. Is it this week or past week? The week before? I'm trying to remember.
It just happened.
But
it's out today. It's out like as a recording. It's like basically all coming out now.
Yes. So, which, obviously the studio displays, the iPad Airs, and the
we don't care about the iPads. They just got
the M5 Pro and Max for the MacBook Pros, and a particular device of interest, the MacBook Neo, which I'm still confused by that suffix, but whatever.
Well, last episode I recorded this right before the Neo came out, like a few days. We were predicting maybe the return of, what does Gruber call it? The MacBook One. Yeah, the one in quotes. I don't remember it being called that, but okay. That was the little 12-inch one, ran on Intel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that.
No.
It is, though, a kind of paradigm shaking for the laptop, low-end laptop market anyway. Small, fun, like a fun MacBook. It slots in at the lowest level. It's slightly smaller than a MacBook Air, is slightly worse hardware, but it's still made of aluminum. It's colorful. It has a decent screen. It has a physical trackpad that still feels very good, apparently. The same keyboard. And, you have to spend $100 to get a fingerprint reader, which is weird, but got to cut corners somewhere. And it's like, what is it, like $700? So
700.
Is it 600? And with the education discounts, like 100 under that. It's going to be discounted
500
by retailers. It will.
Yes. Yeah. So if you do educational price, it's 500. Now, to be a little bit of a, I think if we're talking about, if we really are serious about buying one of these, you probably want to spend the extra 100 to get that touch, the fingerprint reader, especially if you're getting it for your nephew or particularly your parents, because I think this laptop is much more of a, like the type of in my mind, I feel like it's the type of laptop you would give to your parents if they needed a new laptop, just because it's not, it's very much just for email, web browsing, basic. Not for people who use Chrome like crazy with tab fences, but
yeah, maybe not with Chrome. But I mean, I've watched some reviews. Stallman, there's some reviews. He's a photographer. I've read some reviews. I saw MKBHD's review. It's way more powerful than you think. So this is from an iPhone 16 Pro, that chip, right? And you could edit 4K video on that thing. So you can do everything up to you could do basic 4K video editing in Final Cut. If you use Apple software, Apple's included software and Safari, from the reports, you could just use it. Daring Fireball, John Gruber did a really, he's epically long reviews of this thing, and he so loves this thing, it's probably going to replace his iPad. What does he call it? He has an around the house computer.
What is an around-the-house laptop?
He has a big MacBook Pro, expensive MacBook Pro docked to a Studio Display, like a lot of people. That's basically what my setup is. Not a Studio Display, though. We'll talk about that. But and then he has his phone, and then his third device to carry around, I guess, do stuff, which was an iPad.
Okay.
And now this might be it because this lets him do computer stuff, and he prefers macOS over iPadOS. And he's an old school Mac guy, Coke ahead, you might say.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever went to a meeting, but
I mean, he was the guy that was like big on a lot of the old school classic, champion a lot of the old school classic Mac UI.
But here's the line right at the end. I'm spoiling it for you all, but go read it. It's good. He says, "I'll just say it. I think I'm done with iPads. Why bother when Apple is now making a crackerjack?" Such another Gruberism, crackerjack. I love it. Crackerjack Mac laptop that starts at just $600. Made the MacBook Neo live so long that its name becomes inapt, like the MacBook Air. That's what he's referencing. So that's great. I think that's a great review. I'm gonna copy it and put it in the show notes for you people.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking about it like, oh, is this going to be like the new 12-inch and all the executives carry it around? Is this going to enable different kinds of like market maybe for software or something? You know, I don't know. I think it's going to make. What it does is going to expand the Mac market, and that's good for us if we want to make software that is. If only we had some kind of cross-platform development environment from Apple. Oh wait, we do technically. We could.
You mean Flutter? You mean Electron?
No, I mean, yes, you could use Flutter, but you could also just use Apple's native stuff. But you could build for Mac now way easier than back in the day when we first started first started in the group. So, I mean, I think from a developer perspective, that's the main thing. You can apparently run Xcode on this thing, and the Swift compiler might bring it to its knees because it brings my M1 Max to its knees, but I guess it depends how big your app is. It'll probably compile bento fit real fast.
Yes. Yeah. It should do fine on bento fit. All right. What is bento fit?
Bento fit is the app we released. It is a God. I walked into it. I don't even have my whole spiel set up. Bento fit is a simple health kit dashboard app to help you stay focused on your fitness journey. It gives you a curated list of metrics from HealthKit, somewhat computed, so you can quickly at a glance see where you're at and plan where you're going so you can get as fit as Aaron, the golden god. That's what we call him in the group here.
Gold standard, okay.
Gold standard of fitness, at least among three of us.
We're just going to get more hyperbolic as we for every podcast.
So you go to bentofit.app to download it, and it will eventually soon, I hope, get an update with much more functionality and stuff. That is a plan. For now, we released it as part of a contest, which we didn't win, but that's okay because it was we did it on the podcast. You can go listen to all the episodes. It's pretty fun. So bentofit that app, download it, give it a shot, send us $5, please. You don't wait till we get to the discussion about the monitors. We
need money for the monitors, okay?
Did you see what they released? We didn't even talk about it yet. Did you see how expensive the XDRs?
Oh my goodness. But
not as expensive as the last one.
I know. That's what's so amazing. Yeah, we got to get to the monitor talk. I have so many things to say about monitors.
So, I mean, to me, I thought the target audience was definitely like students.
Yes.
My mom.
Your mom.
Or my parents. And maybe like most casual people, to be honest, like people who don't need to do anything beyond basic computing.
It's like most people.
Yeah, most people. Arguably, like I would say maybe close to like 85% of the human population probably this would be perfect for. Especially at these prices.
Yeah. Basically, you can do anything you would want to do on a Mac on this thing. You'll just hit a ceiling as you get more advanced. So like you can do, and you have limited ports and all. So you have to use dongles, so you have that like kind of limitation. But you could do it. We all lived through the era where we had like one port, two ports again, in the beginning of the M1 generation. We could, and then if you're using video editing, for instance, you could do video editing on this. Like anything to the level that people are already doing for social media, like CapCut or something, or you can use Final Cut to do. I saw people doing simple edits, and simple is like a 4K video with, all kinds of the built-in stuff you can do. It's when you start layering effects on, that's when it would slow down, you hit a ceiling. But basic kind of social media cuts that people do, or home movies, all that kind of stuff, totally doable. Make your own little, video for YouTube, totally doable. Most people are storing stuff on the cloud anyway, so the hard disk space being 256 at the base is not really, I think, a big limiter for most people. Any word processing and stuff and email, web browsing, that's all, fine. I mean, it's
should be fine to do your taxes on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Lightroom works apparently on it, which I always like to see. You could do Lightroom. I mean, like Photoshop, maybe you might be pushing it for some of the Photoshop stuff. I don't know, but all the stuff that normal people would want to do, including up to basic levels of content creation, which I think today the basic level is pretty high. But
Steve.
Yeah.
People still use Photoshop in this day and age?
I mean, yeah. Although maybe you'd want to use a different app on this thing. I think you want to use software that is optimized for Mac, as optimized as possible. So maybe Pixel Motor, as John Gruber once called it.
Maybe Adobe will finally optimize their apps.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can only dream. I mean, it's not like they're not at all optimized, but they're old code bases. I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it gets a lot worse because they will be using some techniques that we shall not name on this episode.
Yeah, not this episode.
And make things worse, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, so I think I don't know, was there anything else that that's interesting to you about this particular product, or before we move on?
To me, it's just the price and the fact that it's so capable that I think we're going to see an explosion. Like, I think we're going to see the actual user base of Macs get even bigger. Like, I live in a world where my day job is for users that are almost all Apple now, and I watched that transition over decades happen. I remember when I started, at university, where I was like the Apple guy on campus. There weren't a lot of us Apple people. Yeah. And then it just steadily grew and grew and grew. And so when the iPhone came out, it just blew up. And now I think it's the vast majority of people, of students and anyway. So I think it's going to be even more like that outside of my bubble. Like there's certain bubbles that are really like education and stuff that's really big on Apple. But I think it's going to be even bigger outside of that.
Do you
at least for Macs,
Oh, good.
So what are you thinking? 5X, 10X?
I have no idea how to estimate that, but I think what we'll see is, like, we already see a lot of MacBook Pros around. I think you're just going to see a lot of little colorful MacBook Neos around, where people would have otherwise bought a cheap, like, HP or something like that from Best Buy. They will hopefully buy this because it's just better in every single way than any of the competition right now. I have no idea how PC manufacturers are going to compete with this. Honestly, they're going to figure out a way, but I don't think it's going to be like tomorrow. Like right now, this is the best game in town for this money, especially when you consider how the prices of components have skyrocketed. It's just like a crazy good value.
You're about to say, Aaron?
Buy a bunch to extract.
How long till this has 16 gigs of RAM?
Next year. I think it'll have 12.
Next year, 16 gigs of RAM and like
no, not 16. I think
12 gigs. 12 gigs. Yeah, 12 gigs.
I think that's
of
what
RAM.
the 17. Is that what the 17 Pro is? Yeah. So when they upgrade the chip, it'll go along with the chip because
this chip is like an A. Which version? Which
It's the one from the 16 Pro.
Yeah, the last gen.
Do they tell
the
us?
last gen one, right? But that was weird because like what perplexed me or confuses me at the moment,
18.
right? What confuses me about this particular chip, or at least this whole setup, is that I remember very vaguely the reason why they upgraded the iPhone 16 to 12 gigs of RAM was for Apple Intelligence. But apparently this particular... That was 8 gigs?
It went from 6 to
8. The 15 Pro was the first one that supported Apple.
It wasn't that.
And that was 8
gigs?
gig. That was 8 gigs, right?
Yeah, 8 gig was the minimum.
Yeah.
And then after that, they went... I mean, 8 gigs is a bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum.
We'll see how well.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, this thing has an 81 decode.
So I am kind of curious,
guys. Wait? Before you go on, this thing, I'm reading the tech specs. It has hardware accelerated ProRes and ProRes RAW, which I mean, I don't think you're going to be doing much ProRes stuff on this thing because that actually uses up a lot. Well, maybe with an external hard drive. Oh, wait, you can't afford an external hard drive because it'll cost more than the laptop now. But if you had one...
Wait, what? How much is it going to cost me?
I mean, it depends. But you want a fast external SSD? I mean, as I was telling you first recorded, they're already like double the price they were months ago, and they're going up by tens of dollars a week, it seems, because I got an alert for one. It was like $20 more expensive than a few weeks ago.
And I really actually could use one.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
No. Okay, we'll leave that alone for a second.
Yeah,
but yes,
anyway,
yes.
So any final thoughts about this from you guys?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious to see what that market actually ends up being.
Yeah, me too.
And
I am,
if it's like actually, because like, yeah, probably a lot of students will end up getting this, but like, will it be desirable for like the younger generation? Will they actually want it?
Right, because
versus like an Air or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, will they want the more expensive one, or will this be good enough for them? They'll be like, what will it be the cool thing to get?
I think the fact that it has the cool colors, that's what it's going to make it more popular with the younger people.
From a zeitgeist point of view, right? Like when the Bondi Blue iMac first came out, and I was like, there's no way people are going to buy this, and much to my own shock, it was like, a cultural like, and zeitgeist in the same type of way this is. Yeah. Right. In terms of like, good.
I'm saying, and the color and the computers back then were not very comparable to PCs. Like for the same amount of money, I think at the time you could have gotten a better PC, but you couldn't have gotten such a nice designed or fun computer. And that that carried a lot of it. It was the design of the time. And same thing with like iPods when they first came out. Mm-hmm. They weren't necessarily the best at what they were doing at the time in some ways, but they were just the best design, like industrial design. And so style goes a long way. People complain about the Apple tax. You're paying all this extra money for, you're paying, part of it is the cachet, the name, but also the build quality and the style, the taste. You're buying the taste.
Well, the funny thing about this particular product at this price, I think that was the one thing that like Linus Tech Tips was like, that was the one thing like he popped big for, was like the aluminum case. Like you're not going to get a PC laptop at that price with aluminum case.
No, and it's like, isn't it just one piece of aluminum like the MacBooks that they're made? Yeah. So it's super strong for a laptop. The keyboard is good. I mean, it's an amazing piece of not just engineering, but of like logistics and supply chain management, because I don't think another company could make this right now. Like literally, even if they could technically make it, they couldn't source the components and build it and make a profit or whatever. Because Apple's making some kind of profit of this, even if it's not their usual.
Definitely.
They never sell anything for a complete loss, as far as I know. No. So
no lower than like 20% or something like that.
So they're gonna make something.
Number. Yeah.
And it's like, it's so the trade-offs that are made are so perfect. This is going to be studied in school, in business schools, because the more I look at it and all the technical decisions went into it and the trade-offs they made and the timing of it, I was like, oh, it's so nice. It's like, I could see the meetings and I could see like the decisions, like where they cut the corners to make the costs, but then you don't notice those trims because they're not that important to the core audience. And it's just, wow. I mean, if this thing doesn't take off, I mean, then we obviously are living in some kind of hell dimension. I think that we're screwed. But no, this is going to take off and it's going to sell. They're going to sell so many of these things. They're going to be everywhere.
I agree. Okay, cool. So where do we want to go from here that you would like talk about? Like, there's another bit of product announcements that we've kind of alluded to. That you've been expressing kind of like alluding to expressing a need, but let's start with the fact that we had new studio displays and XDR displays.
We got the update, a refresh of the classic studio display. Here's the thing. People have been crapping on the studio display since it came out, but I have been doing a lot of research on monitors. It is not a bad monitor. It's actually quite competitive as a full package. And it has amazing color reproduction. Calibration from the factory better than almost anything else I've been able to find. It has the best speaker system you get built in, if that's important to you. It has a webcam built in, which is apparently slightly less potato-like this time, but still better than everything else you'd have built in to it. It has the best build quality by far of any of these, and it has a panel which is really good. And if you want a matte display, it has arguably the best kind of matte display with the nano-texture stuff. So, and the update is Thunderbolt 5, which is actually, there's only like maybe a couple other monitors that I think have Thunderbolt 5, and it has, and you can also daisy chain these things now finally. If you have fast enough, if you have Thunderbolt capable Mac. So it's actually not bad. It's still ungodly expensive, but it's not like, it's within like hundreds of dollars of where I think I would prefer it to be.
Monitor. Okay.
But it's not like, but it's not like this monitor, if someone else made it, you could make this quality and be like $500. Like you could see the competition. All the competition that tries to mimic this, they all like made of plastic and stuff. They're nowhere near the good build quality. And then when they try to have better build quality, the price goes over $1,000. So when you look at the whole package, you look at how, I think it's like 600 nits. It's brighter than most other displays you get in this thing. It's 5K, and it's like, it's hard to beat as a Mac user. And that irritates me because it's still at 60 Hertz. And it's at 60 Hertz because of technical limitations mostly. I think people don't understand how much bandwidth is required for that. There's a reason why there's very few 120 Hertz or faster 5K displays. And like my M1 Max MacBook Pro cannot do 120 Hertz at 5K. It's a hardware limitation. It's a Thunderbolt limitation, I think, mostly. Like Thunderbolt, you need a Thunderbolt 5. Maybe you could do, because I have 4, I guess, on this, and I'm plugged in with a 3 cable, so I definitely can't do it. But I've been looking around, and it's pretty good. But the one that really got the big update, because it's still basically the same panel, and it's nice and all, but the one the cool one is the Studio Display XDR. If we can, if I can find that one in here, I don't know where they hid it. I think they put it under Mac. Yeah, so display.
Jeez, okay, that makes sense.
So the Studio Display XDR, now that's the one everybody wants. This is the one that starts at $3,300, almost $3,299.
$200 more, you can get a Vision Pro.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually a possibility. Is like I was looking at monitors, and some people seriously are like, "Oh, just get a Vision Pro. You can get like a huge monitor the size of your wall, but you have to like wear this thing on your face."
And you get multiple ones. You can get up to 6 of them.
Wow.
I mean, if you really want to be, 5 technically, but yeah.
But the XDR monitor, I mean, everybody knows it now. It's like a mini LED backlight. I mean, it's better in every way than the Pro Display XDR, except size, and it's a lot cheaper. And the stand's included, so you can stop complaining about that. Although, does it twist? Does the XDR turn on its vertically like the Pro?
I've never seen one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, not the old one.
No, the old one did. The old Pro display.
But you're talking about turn this way.
Yeah, can you turn the XDR display?
I assume this one. I assume this one can. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we should assume anything when it comes to Apple. I mean, because it doesn't look like it has that same back, so I don't know if you actually can do that. But
unless you pay more money, maybe.
But it's 27 inches and 5K, and this is the thing. I saw somebody's like, well, it's less resolution. It's like, well, it's meant for Macs. So you need 5K in order to get the user interface to be like the same relative size and have the quote unquote like retina level of PPI on it, right? So that's why. So it's at 27 inches, it's 5K to hit what Apple thinks you need to hit of points per inch, I guess that's what PPI is, in order to get to that level of resolution and having all the icons and user interface elements the same. So you ever notice if you're using like an Apple display and you're like your Apple laptop display and you're like you look at them, they're about the same size. Like things are about the same size with default settings. That's on purpose. Like user interface items aren't like incredibly much smaller and or way bigger. But when you try using like 4K displays or something, then you get into these weird scaling issues sometimes. And so that's why. And it was 6K because it was a 32-inch monitor. That's the only reason I think it was 6K, because they wanted to maintain the retina. So when they decided to do an update of this, it makes sense because they wanted to add 120 Hertz. And I don't know if maybe there's a monitor out there, but I don't know if you could do 120 Hertz on a 6K display. Like can you do that over Thunderbolt 5? I mean, you definitely, I don't think, could have done that before Thunderbolt 5. Like, I think people just don't really think through the requirements, the whole chain of hardware that's required for this to work. But I think part of it was that. Like, it was, when the original Studio Display came out, almost nothing was, I don't think there was anything that was like 5K. It was like 120 hertz. Now there's only a few things, I believe.
So,
like, it's,
if you can explain for
if anything.
the casuals,
Yeah.
what is the benefit of a 120 hertz display?
Well, if you look in your MacBook Pros, it's had the what do they call this? Aaron, do you know what it's called? The brand name for it?
No, I don't
120
know.
hertz.
Or the ProMotion.
ProMotion. Yeah. So ProMotion on your iPhone. So it just means that it refreshes the screen faster. So you'd have smoother scrolling without. And so it's hard to describe, but it feels different when you get used to it. When you go back to a 60 hertz. Now, not everybody noticed it. I'm not sure that I actually notice it too much, but it could just be because by default, when I'm looking at my MacBook Pro screen, the ProMotion thing is like a variable refresh rate, so it's not always at 120. So it's hard to tell. But like, if you're looking at a bunch of text scrolling on the screen, like if you're using one of those things that shall not be named, and it's like a lot of stuff is coming out of the screen, like, or if you're reading text,
you
or
need
something,
buttery smooth text.
Buttery. It makes it more butterly smooth. Also, if you're a gamer, gamers really like this because that's important. But we're talking about Macs here. Nobody games seriously on Macs.
Yeah. We're not talking about.
And 120 hertz is not even serious gaming monitor territory. You're not going to be gaming at 5 or 6K anyway. That's insane. You'd lose.
Nobody's playing Resident Evil on this game on this Mac.
No, I mean, like, no. But if you're doing certain kinds of video, you'd want maybe higher refresh rate. But I think even more important than that, I mean, so it makes your light. If you're going with a MacBook Pro, the reason I would prefer a screen that does 120 hertz is because it would match what my MacBook Pro screen does. So it'd be less of a obvious difference. That's the main reason for me. For other people, you're actually doing video at a higher frame rate, and you'd want to be able to see it that way in your editor.
Are you dual screening, or do you like to just clamp?
I mean, no, I don't clamshell. I need the space. I mean, even on a 14-inch, I need to put stuff there. I can't. I don't know how I do it with just one monitor, because I had a meeting today, and it's like I have like Teams and like notes on one screen, like whatever I'm sharing on the other screen. Like two screens makes it much easier to share.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm sharing my laptop screen, and I'm looking at my ancient Thunderbolt display here for the actual recording. So two displays is way easier for doing any kind of streaming.
So now this particular display,
the XDR,
is 3,300 basically. It's starting at 3,300.
It's too much though. It's just too much for like you have to it's so amazing on tech specs. You got to think about it, I think, two ways. Is this something my company will pay for? Then get it. Is this something that I can justify as a business expense because I'm making money? I'm doing like really high end work that requires the level of performance for this. Then you would obviously buy it. Or maybe you could think about it like, can I justify this over some span of time? When you do the division, like how many dollars per year is this thing costing me? Like how long am I going to keep it? Maybe then it makes sense. But I think honestly, for most people, even for years ahead, it's probably not worth plunking down $3,000 or $4,000. You're probably not going to notice the stuff enough, and you can get a 4K display for like a few $100s that most people would probably be fine with. Although,
do you need
I
it?
wouldn't. But do I need it?
Yeah. Okay,
no, man.
Well, see,
so
the thing is like
this for a MacBook Pro upgrade. It's like that's the territory we're in.
Well, I mean, your sort of hobby is, in many ways, part of what's that?
Photography, yeah.
Yeah, is like
this is part of my dilemma.
Is part of the challenge. Is like with this type of display, the level of precision, for lack of a better word, and being able to like really deep dive into your your editing of these post processing.
Well, I'm torn between two things. I'm sitting in front of the screen. I do programming, and I look at lots of text. So I would love to have a higher resolution screen for that alone, crisper that. And then for images, obviously it helps with images as well. But for images, I really want good color gamut and accurate colors. And so when I'm looking at monitors, I have to look at all these things. And again, if I want the best of the best, especially if I want it out of the box with no hassles, it's a Studio Display. One of the Studio Displays keeps coming up. But there are other options.
I was about to say, it's like, so what is the other options that you are considering?
The top option right now, look, that if you want something as close to the standard Studio Display, this is a brand new monitor coming out from BenQ. It's in their Mac lineup, so it's not like professionally aimed. But it's like good enough probably for me in color accuracy and stuff. Like they have another version of this kind of very similar monitor came out like a year ago or something that's more professional aimed, and it comes with like more guarantees about color gamut and accuracy. But this one is designed to be color matching with your MacBook. So if you want it to be kind of a versatile all-in-one, because I need a monitor that's good for everything. I mean, and if I'm honest with myself, the vast majority of the time I'm doing coding and reading of text, or maybe watching a video or edit, that kind of thing. I'm doing photo editing much less of the time, so I don't necessarily want to get something that's all about the photo editing.
Because because that's going to be your central monitor, right? Versus like your side monitor.
And I mean, I would love to have
monitor.
2 monitors, but I mean, we're talking about starting with just one. So yeah, this has been my central monitor, and this one from BenQ is coming out. It's like right now it's on sale. It's like a pre-order for $1,000, I think. So it's already a lot cheaper. Technically does 70 hertz refresh rate, which is interesting. But, I mean, not for my computer, because, again, M1 Max can only do 60 at 5K. But if 450 nits, so it's a little dimmer, but not by a whole lot of the Studio Display. 2001 contrast ratio, 99% P3 color space. I mean, this is probably a Thunderbolt 4 instead of 5, but it's a 5K. This is probably the closest thing right now on the market, or about to be on the market.
Can that be daisy chains as well, or no?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, they have a BOGO sale. If you buy 2 of them, you get the second one 20% off. I'm not kidding.
A BOGO sale? Is that what they call that?
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Holy cow.
But I was looking at this in Amazon. I think it's disappeared from Amazon now. I think they already sold out the pre-order, because it's missing there when I went back. So this is going to sell like crazy because it's so much cheaper than the Studio Display. And BenQ is good at and they also have software. BenQ has a software you can install to kind of give you a drop-down menu, like similar to the software for controlling your monitor now that's in Mac, and to allow you to use your keyboard. That's the thing.
Okay.
I think maybe Asus does this. I'm not sure. One other company does that, where they give you software to help you mimic, control your brightness and volume the same way. Although I don't think this one has speakers in it. If it does, they're going to be garbage speakers. See, again, it's a thing. When you look at these things, you're like, okay, this is great, but then it's made of plastic. It's probably, I don't think it has any speakers in it. It doesn't have a webcam.
Wait.
It's like, well, how much is all that stuff worth to you compared to a Studio Display?
Do you use your speakers, or?
Yes, I use my Thunderbolt speakers as my only speakers on my computer. Sometimes I'll turn on the MacBook speakers because they're technically better, but they're like off to the side, so it's weird.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. Yeah.
But like I could get proper speakers, that's what you would say, but it's been fine. Like I'm so used to it.
You don't want to get them hanging on the stand?
Nah, I'll do when I finally redo my desk and stuff, I'll do that. But maybe. But it's nice to have it all in one. It's just less crap on your desk. But this is probably the top contender for like a normal display. But there's more than that. There's this Dell one that comes up all the time. It's $800. This one is like a whole Thunderbolt hub, and it's a 4K though, so that's why it's a lot cheaper. So you have to deal with the 4K scaling issues, because macOS does not really like 4K because it's not a strict doubling. So what happens with a 4K monitor is macOS will render the screen at 5K and then downsample it down to 4K, which can lead to some artifacts and issues. And so I have no idea what the current state of that is. It's hard to get a read on it, like how bad that would be or not be for me. But it would still be an upgrade from my current one. 4K is still higher resolution than my EP Thunderbolt is, so it'd still be crisper, even with the downsampling. Okay. And it's a lot cheaper. Uses an IPS black display, so it's like deeper blacks. And this is a nice one. It's Dell. I've used Dell. I used to have Dell monitors. A lot of people have them at work. They're plastic, but they're fine. They're not like, they're decently built for plastic monitors. They have lots of features.
You can rotate that one, I assume.
Yeah, you can like rotate it all around. I think you can. Yeah, you can get this, guys. All these monitors besides the Studio Display, you can actually remove the stand and put it
on the Studio Display also.
Well, you have to take it to an Apple store or something. They have to do it in the back with some tool. And like, it's ridiculous. And like, you have to hope they don't scratch the screen or whatever.
They don't charge you with that.
Well, I guess not. But I mean, do you want to trust like the 20-year-old?
I say that jokingly.
$4,000 monitor to put a stand on the back of it or not? I don't know, man. I never even thought about how, I don't even know how hard it is to do that, but as a little tangent, it still pisses me the hell off that Apple did that to their stands. And the only reason I think they did it is like aesthetics, because it's otherwise just the worst decision ever. It's so annoying to so many people, and it forces you to make this choice up front that you should not have to make. It's like using a VESA mount is always the best way to mount a monitor to get the best ergonomics and stability. But it's like, but maybe you don't want to start there. Maybe you want to have some kind of stand for a while. Maybe you want to have a stand when you're going to resell it, because most people don't have one of those mounts. It just really irritates me. But if I bought a Studio Display, I'd probably buy the VESA mount one, and then get like a $200 or $300 stand for it or whatever, because they cost money to have good ones.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll probably get like I'd probably end up spending almost as much as getting the stand, but it would be fully articulable. So anyway,
like at this point, you should just, what do you got? One of either Codex or Claude or both, and just vibe code the most sassy replacement you can find.
Hey, stop right there.
So those are two of the ones. There's other ones, but there's one that's really interesting that I unfortunately probably can't go with unless I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of color depth, which may be okay for me, but it's not so good with the color representation compared to these other ones. But it's also from BenQ. But did you know they have a programmer series, which is a very interesting monitor, and they have an update to their 28-inch because it's actually a 3x2. So it gives you 4K with 400 extra pixels vertically. It's called the RD280UG is a new one. Yeah, and so, but it's cool. I've seen a bunch of reviews of this thing, and so it has these modes on it where it like sets the contrast and stuff for dark mode or light mode editors, so you get really like inky blacks and high contrast for the text, and it has modes to filter out blue light and like all this stuff. It has this little halo light on the back. Like I have a lamp on, like a desk lamp, like one of those lamps that has a little twisty arm you can reposition the, like a traditional desk lamp. I have it pointed kind of up in the back at kind of against my wall, kind of mimicking this halo light thing, and I do that just so that there's more light behind the monitor, so I'm not staring at a bright portal of light when I'm using my monitor, because it's eye strain. Just like when I'm in my living room, if I watch television, I have like a lamp on behind the TV because I don't want a completely dark room, because then it's like really bright light right in the in the center of your room, and it tires your eyes out. So like that's another thing they have in there. And it also, it also other features, KVM and stuff, a lot of things that BenQ has. But what's really the thing about it is the 28-inch one is a 3x2, which I constantly have windows side by side. I really do like vertical space as my primary thing. I always want more vertical space, actually. So it's really tempting. It's also like $700 for this one when it's available anyway. And it goes 120 hertz. And I think I could actually run 120 hertz from my M1 Max, I think, on this one because it's a 4K. But its it's geared towards text and stuff. Its color reproduction is not nearly as good as all the other monitors listed. So that's the thing. It's really not designed for creative stuff like, photo editing and stuff. So I don't know if it would be good enough.
So this is on the assumption like this is more of an all-in, so to speak, for much more of like coding.
Yeah, this is like it's designed for its primary audience is coders. Like, most of the time you're going to have text up on the screen.
You're saying so this one is 700, you said?
This one's 700, although they have versions that are cheaper than that. Like they have a 60 hertz versions. They have a 28-inch 60 hertz version from like last year. That's I think like $100 or something less than that. Like they have
600.
They have a 570 one for the cheaper one. That one's actually readily available. These also are all matte screens. That's the other thing. All these except for the BenQ 27-inch we talked about, they're all matte screens, and that which I don't know if I like matte screens that much. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they have they have the cheaper one for $570 right now, 28-inch, and they also have like a 24-inch, which is like $350. Slightly different features, but they're all like, the same kind of thing. You can get them with an ergo arm too.
Wait,
They're
what's the
nice.
recommended one? That's 5.
Well, they're recommending the old
16,
model.
5. Oh, they're recommending the old model.
I don't know because it's their website, but the new one is
so the
G
new
one.
one, so 700. I mean, you could do it so that you have one monitor that is a coding monitor, and then you buy another monitor. So this cheap one, this $700 one.
Yeah, you can mix and match monitors, but then you have to deal with color matching and stuff. It's a little more difficult.
Right. But hear me out here, because I know you just mentioned it. What if you get 2 monitors for the price of
So one of the things that
Studio Displays.
Yeah, well, one of them. Well, yeah, I thought about getting. They had that BOGO for the 27-inch from BenQ, and I was also looking at these because these you could tilt on their side too, like vertically. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you put anything on a VESA mount, you can always do that. But I thought about having a main display and then a vertical display. I used to do that at work years ago, and I actually liked it. Maybe you get the right size. I'm not sure 2 28-inch displays or 27 inches is great because 27 inches is a little big vertically. So, but I don't know.
Would you do like your vertical in front of you? You have your laptop on
it'd be
this
horizontal,
side, and then you have
horizontal in front of me, vertical to the side.
Vertical to the side. Okay. Yeah.
But then
maybe your laptop on the opposite side.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. So I wonder if maybe like a 24-inch, maybe a 24-inch could work as a side monitor. Like I have to look at the measurements because ideally what I would love is I saw some people do this. They took one of those, all of them, get all of them, just like a whole array. Yeah, if I have enough plugs, I can plug them all in. That's the other thing. Got to think about your Thunderbolt situation. But if you, I saw one guy who had this really clever thing. He got one of those portable like 15-inch displays, and he attached it, like he mounted it so it lined up on the side of his 27-inch. It was like the same height, basically. And I was like, that's pretty good. But those displays are usually really crappy looking, and I was like, I don't want to use a really crappy display. But anyway, 2 displays, 1 vertical is one option, but I'd have to. That's more of an investment. But that's another reason why to get cheaper display then. Or get the BOGO sale, 20% off.
And wait, the BOGO sale, like the total cost, would that be what exactly?
Less than $2,000-ish? $1,500-ish? Less than, a little more than a Studio Display standard, but much less than an XDR.
Yeah, XDR is like
$1,400 less than XDR or something like that.
Would you rather have 3 monitors or 1 XDR?
Yeah,
what if you have 2 XDR?
3 monitors or 1 XDR. See, there's a good idea. That's a good point.
See,
can you power 3 monitors? I could technically, I think, do 3 4K, but I can't do 3 5K off of this laptop.
Then next thing you know, you're going to need. It's like, well, I clearly need another computer to power one of these monitors, and next thing you know, you're getting yourself a Mac Mini. Who knows? Maybe you'll max out.
Actually, now that you mention it, I have thought about getting a Mac Mini. And then one of these monitors that has a KVM in it would be useful because then you can just switch to the Mac Mini or have it side by side, and you can use them both. So this is my problem. Monitors are complicated. There's so many options. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of 5K options. They all have different trade-offs. There's tons of 4K options, and but 4K doesn't necessarily play super well with macOS. Although I'm not sure what the current state of things is with Tahoe. Maybe it's good. I don't know. And then you'll always come back to the one that would definitely work would be one of the Studio Displays. The Studio Displays are very expensive, and the regular one is only 60 Hertz. So in the future, when I upgrade my MacBook and I have something that can do a 5K 120 Hertz, I've now spent $2,000 on a display that can't do it.
How close does this future need to be of your upgrading?
I feel like I'm going to want to upgrade when the M6s come out. Maybe because these laptops are so expensive. They got like what they get like $400 more expensive this cycle, Aaron, something like that, because of the way they priced them.
They changed the minimum storage and RAM up. So.
Yeah,
I mean, what's kind of funny if you look at like your MacBook Pro configuration,
so now.
when you go into like if you go to the MacBook Pro,
let's do it through the education store.
And then you buy the education store. Oh, that's right, because you can do the education. Yeah,
that's how I bought my current one.
Nice.
You can only do it like once a year.
Did you pick it up in Delaware?
No.
I'm joking.
No.
Joking, people.
I paid my
So if you do a buy, right? And then you pick a model, go to the RAM.
16-inch, and then you can't really change it.
You have to pick like color and all that stuff.
I got to pick a color first.
Kind of annoying.
Black, of course.
let's stick a standard. Don't worry about that part.
We're gonna
your
pick standard
chip.
display for the moment.
Pick a Pro. Either one is fine.
Max it out.
Yeah, max it out. And now
because this is what I did. If I want the equivalent of what I did for my M1 Max, well, actually, I think my M1 Max. Yeah, I just bought the off the shelf one though, but they off the shelf I think had maxed out cores.
Now go there where it says unified memory. Clearly, you want more than 4 gigs, right?
Well, I mean, look, they're only charging $200 or $180 for 64 gigs.
There was a configuration like this is weird. So like
2 terabytes are the minimum now. So look, I'm already up to $4,200.
I've seen if you picked a different set of RAM, right? They didn't even put the price in. They didn't tell you the price of how much more expensive it was. Yeah.
See pricing
there it
and
is.
changes.
See prices and changes. It's so volatile that they don't even bother to tell you until you
I think it's because it's because in order to get the higher RAM, you need to go to the higher core count M5 Max.
Oh my goodness. Okay, fair.
So this is how Apple is dealing with the price increases. If you want more than 36 gigs of RAM, because most people will probably be fine with the 32-core GPU versus the 40-core GPU, right? You're probably not going to notice the difference in most people. But if you want that extra, you want 48 gigs of RAM, well, you're going to have to spend $300 to go up to the chip size, then another $200 to get the RAM. So really, it's like a $500 upgrade to get 64 gigs of RAM. So if you weren't already planning on getting that maxed out core, this is how they're dealing with it. I mean, this is what we talked about. They were going to hide the price increases with upgrades, and they're doing it even more interestingly than I expected.
Yeah.
So you get the bin chip, and you're stuck with 36 gigs. Looks like. Wait, now it's letting me change? No. So prices now. You need to go to the
Got it. So I see what they're doing. Yeah, right. That makes sense.
So, but still, even the binned Max chip with a standard display,
it's
16
not so
inches,
obvious.
is still more expensive than when I bought mine, I think. It's like $3,600 on the academic store.
Oof.
If you go for Pro chip, I mean, it's cheaper.
it is sort of funny because I look at those prices and I'm like,
go the 14-inch, it's cheaper.
When we used to pay for these titanium ones, the prices would be fairly equivalent.
I thought the 14-inch should be cheaper. Wait, it changed but it's.
Is the 14-inch you got? Or
no, I was trying to see if you get it cheaper or not, but
because you're trying to get the M5 Max, so you're not gonna you're gonna like wait this one out for the M5 one, right? You're gonna go straight to M6.
I was thinking that only because they were gonna do a redesign, but there's no way that the price is gonna get cheaper. The next update, the rumor is there might even be another tier of MacBook. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I can't imagine it's gonna be cheaper than this.
Oh yeah, M5 Ultra.
No way.
MacBook Ultra. They haven't gone to the Ultra level yet.
So here's the thing. If I get an XDR display, it's almost as much as a MacBook Pro 16-inch M5 Max. But it would allow me, when I did eventually upgrade my laptop, I'd be able to use it. But then I wouldn't have the money to upgrade my laptop for another 5 years because I'd send it on the screen. So probably not a great idea to go for that one. But the regular Studio Display it is a default choice. I don't know if that's really what I'm going to go with, but the regular Studio Display is actually it keeps coming up as a very solid choice just because of the combination of it's a good enough, it's a highly color accurate and calibrated display that's 5K, crystal sharp. I've seen it at least in glossy, and I might have to end up doing that. But then one more question, and we're over time here, but I got to answer it, guys. Nano-texture or no, or if you were to go with one of those, because I've seen them in the store.
How bright is your room?
Yeah.
Well, there's a window behind me, but it's like I guess I could probably get a proper curtain or something for it. But it is directly behind me. There's always a glare on my screen. I just kind of tune it out, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I see myself right now in a dark room because the light's reflecting off of me.
Maybe that might be. Well, how much is it extra?
Well, it's not about how much it's extra, I think, because well, let's see in the education. You can buy it Can you buy a display in the store? Can you? Like, can you get the display in the education? Why is it built this way?
Sure
so I have to click a button to go all the way to the end. It's so annoying.
There you go.
Anyway,
Bye.
you can buy this.
Okay, so that's
nano-texture is $270. Oh, it's $300 difference. $300 difference.
Yeah, just get the.
Well, it used to be $500 though. But here's the thing about the nano-texture. People love the nano-texture, but I have to go back to a store and look at it again. Every time I've looked at it in the Apple store, to my eye, it was immediately like fuzzy. I don't know if you guys have that experience. And
it feels the texture looks weird for sure.
And I watched a really good review on YouTube of these of the nano-texture stuff when it came out for the laptops. But this guy who's like a professional photographer, and he goes really in depth on these things. His thing is that matte displays are better for editing photos because you make it look good on a matte display. It'll look good on a glossy display, but not necessarily the other way around, because a glossy display makes things like pop more, even though when you actually do physical measurements, it's not anything really different. Like, they're still the same color accuracy and everything, but to your eye, it looks more contrasty. And so if you're editing to that, it won't look the same on another one. I mean, I don't know if I quite buy that exactly, but, because I've used matte displays and I've used glossy displays, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I completely buy that there's much of a difference, but that's what one argument. And a lot of people love it because, it obviously does a really good job with lighting. But go to a store and look at one of these screens, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion on it, because I'm so torn, because I like the idea of not having reflections, but every time I've looked at these things, I'm like, I don't know if I could live with having any kind of fuzziness. And also the extra possibility of the extra difficulty of cleaning them is the other thing that gets me too.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Because, this is glass. Like, Apple's actual glossy displays is just glass. Like, you can clean it with any old microfiber. You can clean it with anything, really. And I use like Whoosh, which is like what apparently they use in the Apple Store, and it's easy to clean, and you're not going to damage it. You're not going to damage it by cleaning it that way. So with anything reasonable, like regular glass, not regular glass cleaner, like monitor cleaner. You're not, it's non-alcohol monitor cleaner. So, but with the studios, the other stuff, sometimes you have to worry about it. Although I did see a guy, I don't know if he's an animator, he's an artist, and he spends all day on an iPad. I think he used to do art for Nickelodeon and stuff. And he got one with a nano-texture. And he's like, oh, he has no problem. He's like, I clean with like a paper towel, my sleeve, and he's like, he shows, it's like no damage after a year. It's like nothing. So I mean, I feel like maybe Apple's, when they're warning, like, only use our special cloth, which is apparently very nice. Only use a special cloth and everything. That they're being like, they're exaggerating so you you mess up your display. And it's probably not as fragile as that implies. But on the other hand, it's expensive. I like durability.
Wait, so where is your? That's hard to say. Ultimately, it would be your.
I'm leaning towards standard glass and a vessel mount, and get it for $1,500 then, if I was going to go for Studio Display, and then and that way, if I really did want to upgrade to something later, at least I didn't blow $4,000 on a display or something. At least I have some money left over.
I feel like there will be a nice tier for like as you're. As you make money of the new applications you've built, the thousands of new applications you're going to build.
Yeah, with the stuff that should not be named.
Yes, the
right?
stuff that you shall not name.
I need money for those subscriptions.
I would put a pitch in there if you can get a Lightroom replacement I'm going to throw this out there for you because an animator replacement. And an After Effects replacement.
Oh, you want me to make them?
Yeah, please make them. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
That'll get you the money you need.
It would, definitely, because people people don't hate Lightroom. People hate paying Adobe for Lightroom, like me. I hate paying them, and their whole online payment system is annoying. But would you get AppleCare for a monitor? Like what? This is AppleCare here.
Oh, that's a good question.
Throwing it around? You put it in your backpack?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, how?
Do you guys have AppleCare One? I do, but I've used up all the slots on it, right? And so I got AppleCare on, what was it, on my watch or something? I got AppleCare on something else, and it was a lot cheaper to get it on the per device thing separately from the AppleCare One. Just like here, if you look on their website, they charge less money to just use it monthly, to pay AppleCare monthly for the monitor than to add it onto AppleCare One, which is the weirdest thing. I don't know why they do that.
That's kind of new to me. I don't know if that's a new thing with AppleCare.
Ish. AppleCare One is new.
I mean, AppleCare One makes sense as a practical thing.
But look at the pricing. It's $6 a month for every additional thing you put on it after your 3 products.
After 3 products. But like how many
$5 a month for AppleCare Plus by itself. I'm not saying get this for a monitor, but I did this. I can't remember which thing it was. It was either my iPad Mini or something, or my watch. It was one of these things. I have a phone, a laptop, and my watch, I think, on it. And then I wanted to add something else.
That is fine.
So one of them. But anyway, the thing I added though, it was cheaper to add AppleCare Plus than to add it to the AppleCare One plan. That's what's weird to me. That they charge like $1 or $2 more than. I feel like you guys are missing the point of you want me to use your subscription, make the add additional products cheaper than the monthly per product.
At this point, like it should be like another extra feature of like the Apple One subscription.
Yeah.
Like maybe you get like one of your devices or like your lower end devices for like you get that insured. But
it has a year
of the Apple One thing is it's not very well named because there's multiple Apple One.
Yeah, this is the Apple Care One.
Yeah,
cover multiple products.
They can only have one, and it should have everything.
They can't. There's more than one. This is not Highlander.
I know, but
yeah,
there can be only one Apple One.
And now we have Neo, so you can expect an Apple Care Neo at some point.
Oh look, I could. No. Oh God. So I don't know, guys. $1,500 or $800 is basically what I'm looking at.
Is this like the Steve intervention?
Yeah, it is
a podcast.
Are we trying to convince you to spend more or less money?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Are you trying to get us to tell you to pick the rational choice and get two monitors?
What is the rational choice?
The rational choice is buy the XDR and you'll have it for 10 years.
That's not the rational choice.
It's. Maybe. I don't know.
It's the emotionally exuberant choice.
Let's see. Oh my God,
it's the aspirational choice. It's the aspirational choice.
We're trying to wrap things up, and we're slowed down because the education website for Apple makes me click a freaking button to move a horizontal list one item at a time to get to the displays, which are all the way off on the edge. You know, I told you guys earlier, I watched some of the crash out that Theo did about Apple stuff, and it was not related to this, but I kind of I understand his feeling right now. Like I could almost crash out just about Apple's education website design. Although I've been around long enough that it used to be way worse, guys. So whatever you're seeing now is
I remember
not
the
really
way worse version.
So the standard glass VESA mount. Well, see, they don't get this. So they charge you more to get a stand for the regular Studio Display, but they charge you nothing extra to get a stand for the XDR, which means if you don't pick the VESA mount, if you pick the VESA mount option, it's like you're leaving money on the table because you're spending the same amount of money. You're spending the same amount of money, but you don't have a stand now. But I guess it doesn't matter because you can't remove it. If you could remove it, it would make more sense. But anyway, so it looks like it's $3,200 for the education store account, so it's a little bit cheaper. But still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if I have $3,200 for that. That's a lot. I had to check my budget. I don't think my budget can handle it.
Well, how much are you paying? Was it? How much is that?
We've only made $5 from Bento Fit so far.
Per month for 12 months.
Oh, I forgot. They have a financing plan. Yeah, you could probably use an Apple Card financing plan or whatever. Yeah, that's a good point.
How many app purchases is that?
Yeah, no, it's like 200, and it's like over $260 a month for a year.
You got to start that marketing.
I know, right? We have to. Yeah. So that means like how many tips we have to get for the app for this to like make up.
We need you to find the app in the store because it's buried under a mountain of all the other apps, and then tip us $5 until we could all afford an XDR. Yeah, our new goal is XDR money. So we've now doubled. We now doubled our goal.
We are not thinking rationally here because we've like gone from like hoping for Studio Display money to like XDR money. Like, is that where we're going?
Yeah, we should really change our first goal to MacBook Neo money. More reasonable.
That feels reasonable. That feels MacBook, attainable.
Okay. Our new goal, our first goal is MacBook Neo money. Just one MacBook Neo, color to be chosen by Aaron.
We can split it into 3 parts.
Which part do you want?
So that'd be like $200 per person. If we're doing the educational price, that's actually cheaper.
We'll have a sharing plan. Certain weekends.
Wait, does it have? Are we going to make sure that it's going to have touchscreen? Is it going to be a touchscreen display?
The new one? No, we're just
if we're doing like a Neo price.
No, we're talking about getting a MacBook Neo and sharing among the 3 of us like weirdos. It's like literally like the parable of the sawing the baby in half. Goodness. That's what Aaron's referring to.
Yeah, remind me to tell you a tale of why we tried to do something similar like that in my old job with like an iMac.
You tried to split a laptop into multiple pieces, or tried to share it?
No,
share it.
An iMac to share between developers.
You have to save that story for next time, because I've already, as usual, blown through our entire like, we're only gonna go 45 minutes, guys.
No,
it never happens.
We hit the hour mark, so that always happens. All right.
So anyway, that's my whole adventure with displays. We'll let you know.
Maybe someday we'll find out what monitor you buy.
Well, it's going to be something relatively soon, because I'm afraid this Thunderbolt display is just not going to turn on one day, because there's been other days where I have spent like 15 minutes trying to get it to turn on, and it's also failing in all these places at the bottom, and it's been good to me, but it's kind of time.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later. But for now, we're going to cut this off at this point. So that's all we have for today. You can learn more about Philly Cocoa at phillycocoa.org. There you'll find links to our Slack group, meetup schedule, and contact info. If you're feeling generous, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, or whatever your podcast platform of choice is, and share us with all your developer friends. And one more thing. I don't have a one more thing, so I'm just going to shout out again to appjohn.com. @John makes beautiful applications for the Apple platform. They have a collection of 3 apps in the App Store. Clip Dish, which is a recipe, saving your recipes clutter-free. They have MioVio, which is a way to track and rate and learn about wine. And another app called Minimalist Meditation Timer. They really do have to work on that name, though. Just do your breath and timer. Just remember, this is a non-sponsorship promotion. So,
oh my God, no one's sponsoring us. We just like them. So why do we have to use words that confuse the robots that shall not be named, that are scanning all of the stuff on the different systems?
This one's not intentionally doing it. I mean, we actually want to get them to like pull in this particular bit. But but I just want to give a shout out to Mark and Joe. You're doing great work.
Great.
And
I still have Clip Dish. I should use it more, because I desperately need to cook better. So
same.
Yeah.
So again, appjohn.com if you want to check out their apps. And with that, till next time, good luck on your own developer journey. We will cheer for you always.
There's more than one. This is not Highlander.